teachers, people that are of influence that are acknowledging, wow, this is the stance, and my process is still going to be my process of unwinding, but let it be known I stand for the victims, and that's really important in our community. Can I ask you a question on that, though? Because what would you say about, say, those same teachers that say in the early 80s, when these controversies came up, didn't do anything? They were silent. And so now they're coming out, but it's because now they have some will say that they have no other way than not to come out if they want to still have a good public interface, so to speak. But can you give context for why that was so different, say, or maybe it was more challenging, say, in the 70s when this was getting exposed, or the 80s?
Well, it's an excellent question, but it has so many multiple layers to it. First and foremost, we have the internet and social media. And so if you lived in Atlanta, Georgia, or ran the ashram in Toronto, Canada, maybe you heard little bits of this, but people were so far away that they didn't hear a lot of it. The second thing is, I think it's idiosyncratic. A lot of the students, for example, and I'm not defending her, but Tej Ka, who I consider a wonderful teacher, up into all of this unfolding in January, I was going to her class occasionally in West Hollywood. And she's a wonderful teacher. And she's a purist. And she's devoted her whole life to Yogi Bhajan and to the Dharma and to 3HO. And she teaches in a pure channel. But she's in complete and total denial. She believes that everybody's a liar and that Yogi Bhajan was this pure saint. And you can't crack that. It's like the people that believe Donald Trump is the savior, saving them from the QAnon pedophilia cult of drinking babies' blood. It's just nonsense. So I think some of the people back then, they couldn't, for whatever reason, whether it was the purity of their devotion to Yogi Bhajan or the depth of their denial that they'd already spent 10 years or 15, 16 years in, and you got that much time in, can you really entertain that the emperor doesn't have any clothes? Because that will mean you're going to have to leave and have a new identity. So I think for everybody, it's different. And some people didn't really have the full story. And that's the difference between social media today and back then. It was like rumors and stories, and they were always killed off by Yogi Bhajan because any woman that left was a drug addict, whore, prostitute living on the street who said anything negative about him on a sexual level.